Well, good morning and welcome to Blackberry Ridge. It has already been a very, very busy morning. We have already got clothes out on the line, and we've got all the animals fed. We've been to the garden, we've picked produce, we've got all of our things put together, and we are going to make salsa. It is salsa time on Blackberry Ridge. So let's go through some of the things that you're going to need. First of all, salsa does need to be canned. Okay, and I'm going to water bath can it. Some people say that because it has green peppers and onions in it, it needs to be pressure cooked. So you go ahead and you use the recipe that you feel is the safety concerns for your own family. I'm just going to show you the way that I do it, and this has worked really well for me for years. So let's go through the setup here. In this container right here is my water bath canner. In there I have my jars, and they are boiling, getting sanitized. Here I have a pot of boiling water. This is a pot of cold water. It's not ice water because ice is a commodity for us that's precious. We don't have a lot of freezer room, so we have ice in here. Here is a container of tomatoes that I have already been working on. I have already cut up probably about 35 tomatoes and put in here. So big bunch. By the way, 30 tomatoes when I weighed them was about 13.5 pounds. So we're going to be doing between 35 and 40 tomatoes today. You need your favorite knife. I don't know what kind of a knife this is, but this is a knife that I use all the time. Some kind of a bowl for your waste. You are going to need, as I said, 30 to 40 tomatoes. These here are a blend. We're going to be using Atkinson and Celebrity tomatoes today. You're going to be needing 2 pounds of onions. These are some of my Utah Walla Wallas. You're going to be needing 5 green peppers, seeded, cored, and diced. You will be needing a cup of lemon juice. You will also need to have 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 3 tablespoons of salt, and 4 teaspoons of pepper. I've also just went out to my flower pot and I picked some cilantro, and so we're going to put about 5 tablespoons of cilantro into our mix. Now, if you don't like cilantro, don't put it in. Put in parsley. If you don't like parsley, don't put in either. I've also seen recipes for salsa where they've used cabbage and green onions and green peppers. Green tomatoes. One of them even had peaches. So salsa is just one of those things that you can have a lot of fun with. The first thing that we need to do is to remove remove the skins from our tomatoes. Remember, whenever you are removing a lid, to make sure that you remove it where it is opened away from your face. And I like to put the tomato in this and then immerse it into, this is boiling water. It needs to be in the boiling water for about a minute. And there the skins are going to split. I have one here that I have had in the cooling water. And as you can see, the skin has split. And so the skin very, very easily just sloughs off. Just very, very easily. Move this basket back out of the way just a little bit. And then I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to go down and I'm going to remove the core. This end of it right here, I'm just going to go in and core that kind of deep, because I want to get this white stuff right here out. And then I look to see if there's anything on the blossom end, and the little thing is already pulled off. And then I do what I call chunk the tomato. So I come up with my knife and I just cut it into chunks. Okay, and the chunks that I'm cutting it up into are about this size. And the reason I'm doing that is because we like our salsa chunky. If you don't like your salsa chunky, cut the tomatoes smaller. Okay? Alright, so our minute just about is up. That fast. Can you see that the skin has split? It just will very easily pull off. So I'm going to put it into the cool water. That does two things. It cools it so that I don't blister my hands working on this. My hands have work hard enough. They don't need to get blistered. And then these need to cool for just a few minutes. While those are cooling, I'm going to go ahead, since I have all of my tomatoes ready, I'm going to go ahead and pour the rest of my boiling water in my canner, because I want to make sure that my canner is full and that the jars are covered by about an inch, at least an inch of water. And we're going to put the lid back on that. Now, since I've got that burner empty, I'm going to take this big old pot of tomatoes and I'm going to go ahead and put it on the fire. I do something that is just a little bit different from what some people do, and that is that I can my salsa hot. I have hot jars, hot lids, hot rings, hot product. And the reason for that is that there's going to be air in the tomato and juice, and I want to go ahead and I want to get that out. Also, the tomatoes are going to expand when they get hot, and I don't want to have an expansion issue with my canning. So I go ahead and I put it in with it hot. Another thing I'd like to point out is some people like to use cutting boards, and you can cut this up with a cutting board and make them where they're just all beautifully the same size and everything. Problem I run into with that is that it is very, very messy. And so I try to keep the mess down as much as possible because I'm the person who has to clean up the mess. Okay. So we get the idea on what to do with the tomatoes. I'm going to put this to the side for just a second. And I'm going to show you what I do next. Okay, this is a Vidalia Chopped Wizard. It's probably going to show it backwards, written backwards. I don't know why my camera does that. But the Vidalia Chopped Wizard, I love it. It comes with two different size screens. It comes with the itty bitties, and it comes with the size that we're going to be working with today, which is more of a dice size. So that's one of my gizmo gadgets that I really, really love. Okay, we're going to go down through the green onion, or green, they call this thing an onion. The green pepper. Oh, they're beautiful, aren't they? And of course, this is all come out of the garden. All my stuff is organic, because I don't use any pesticides or herbicides. So, and then I want to get rid of all the seeds and the membrane. And this container right here, I mean, it's called a waste container, but there's nothing in this process that is wasted, because every bite that I don't eat for myself, or doesn't go into my canning jars, is going to be going to the chickens. And we'll probably take a few of these seeds. No, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let some of these peppers ripen more on the vine and then use those seeds. Okay, hang on just a second while I rinse these. Okay. Sorry guys, I am not much of a videographer, So I'm going to cut these pieces to where they will fit in my chop wizard. And all I'm going to do is open this up. And I'm going to put the pieces on this. It's going to be a little noisy here for a second. And they're done. So it's going to be real fast on being able to get these peppers done. Okay, so we're going to do all of our peppers that way. All 5 of these beautiful peppers that I have here. Okay. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our onion and we're going to run it through the Vidalia chop wizard also. And you can see how beautiful these pieces become. Alright, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to pause for a second. And what we're going to be working on is we're going to take all of these ingredients that I have talked about before. The 2 pounds of onions, I'm going to dice them up, and the peppers, and we're going to put that into the pot with the tomatoes. We're going to get the rest of these tomatoes here, put in here, and I'm going to bring them to a boil for 3 minutes. I'm just going to kind of blanch them. Hey y'all, just thought I'd let you know I'm still working on the onions. I got the green peppers and everything else into the pot, but this is all I had for what is called waste. Of course, that's not the waste part of it. That's what's going to the chickens. Everything except for the peels and the end pieces from the onions. And that's not waste either because that's going to be going to the chickens. See you again in a few. Okay, we're getting everything stirred in to the pot. This is a big pot, by the way. Does that not just look like summer? I cannot wait. While this is getting ready to come to a boil, though, I'd like to tell you about some of the ways that we use salsa. Of course, you could use it with dip and chips. But the way we use it the most is we put it in meatloaf, we put it in soups, but we love putting it on a baked potato. Take this, bake a potato, and then put some of this on top of it, and then sprinkle a little bit of cheese. Yep. Summer on a plate. Summer on a plate. Okay, as you can see, this is heating. It's pulling off a lot of juice. This is another reason why I go ahead and cook my tomatoes or my salsa for the 3-minute time, because I don't want all this juice in my jar. What I want in my jar is salsa. We're going to use the juice for other things, so we're going to can it up, and we will be able to use it into, put it into soups or anything else that needs a tomato juice type base to it. But yeah, this is a real important thing to make sure that we get part of this juice off of these tomatoes.